What do you get when you throw two natural-born intuitive mediums together with a passion for animals and empowerment?
Spirits, angels, and guides. Oh my. I'm empowerment medium Tara Diana.
And I am intuitive medium Nancy Brady. Together, we focus on the good,
The bad,
and the ugly of working with the spirit realm.
but mostly we're focusing on the good.
Welcome to our live podcast. Hello, Miss Tara.
Hello, Nancy.
Hey. So for those of you out there who have not listened to our podcast, you absolutely have to hop on. We are having so much fun with it. And tonight we're going to talk about why messages matter.
I feel like there could be triggers. Where's it?
Okay, listen, Tara, let's do our standard trigger alert because we got to do that with every single thing. All the podcasts we have, we're pretty much guaranteed to trigger someone out there. So go for it. Do the trigger.
It's not me.
Are you kidding? We're gonna like dedicate a whole podcast episode to Tara's triggers, so we know.
Every person that I tell that to loves that. Thinks that is the funniest thing ever. So yeah, let's talk about this though. So welcome to our Facebook fans. I know Monica's moderating for us down there. So if we're gonna do messages, we're gonna do things like that. So Monica will look after you guys, and Kiara will pop it in here so we can see what's going on. But let's talk about why messages matter. Why do messages matter? We've talked about this before, but it is an amazing topic to kind of remind people. Why do they matter?
Oh, they don't. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. Thanks so much for coming.
Yeah, see you later. No, for me, I really feel messages offer healing. They offer closure. They offer connection. There's so much that messages from our loved ones that come in, and they offer proof of the afterlife. They offer so much more that we're not just sitting in this existence. I'm a firm believer in past lives. I'm a firm believer in parallel lives. And when we can bring in messages to people, it matters on so many different levels for different reasons for different people.
I agree. The messages matter. And here it is in a nutshell for me, because you are looking for some kind of confirmation that your loved ones are okay on the other side, confirmation that you are walking the right path, confirmation, affirmation, even whatever. You are looking for an answer to something that you are struggling with to make sense of, or to feel grounded and stable in the direction you're moving into. So by going to someone that you trust. Now let's talk for a second, Nancy, before we get into all of this, about the craziness that is the spiritual community right now, especially in social media. Let's talk about it, because when I do the work, Nancy, I'm an evidential medium who focuses on empowering others to be their highest and best self. Boom. Mic drop, bar none. That is my job of being of service by spirit. And so when I go into giving messages to people, I am not looking, what's the word? I just want to help people, but I'm doing it to be of service. I'm not doing it to make a quick buck. I'm not doing it to be performative. I'm not doing it for I come off performative because I'm a happy girl. Come on. But the idea of it is to be of service. So, we both belong to a spiritual church. Do you need to belong to a spiritual church to give authentic, integrity-filled messages? Absolutely not. But it does have a bit of a different flavor, a bit of a different flow. Because you go onto something like TikTok, and you're like, I will say this, and Kiara, my boo, who goes on TikTok with me, it is so disempowering. Because no one's invested. All they want to know is, my boyfriend loved me, my boyfriend cheated on me, am I pregnant, am I buying a house, so I have a PR card? And I'm not used to that kind of messaging, right? So when people are asking me that, people want my attention, they want me to help them with something, they're coming with something deep. They're coming with something that is bigger than, they're invested. They're invested in it. Not necessarily financially. That's not what I'm talking about either. But they are invested. So there's a lot of people out there. And the other thing that drives me cuckoo is the whole ooh, do you see this? If you're seeing this, you are meant to see this. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
No one doubts that. For whatever reason, we're meant to see it. But what is with the woohoo stuff? So I've got some issues with some of the integrity of the people not judging people per se. My guy just said, really? But Laura, you need to have a nap, girlfriend, because you be judging, girl.
Go on, Tony. Go on.
Right? I think it's more for me. It's just it doesn't resonate. And
Yeah.
things cannot resonate with us. I mean, for real, I don't have to agree with everything that everyone does. But readings, I'm very fussy. I'm very, very fussy.
Well, and resonation, that's a really good one as well, because I don't resonate with everyone. I'm sure there's people I rub the wrong way and they don't want to see me. They don't want to talk to me. Same with you. Whatever energy.
I rub a lot of people the wrong way.
She's a Scorpio, friends.
This way.
Just gonna say, but we love her. So the whole point is there's people out there who resonate with us. We resonate with them. Our energies align, and that's when we get into the messages. That's when we get into the nitty gritty. And so, we've talked about this on our podcast. If you are sitting in a space and someone is going to do a reading for you, and you're going, "Oh, this feels wrong," abort. Just leave it.
Abort.
Fine.
Run, please.
So, it's really about we are in a contract with spirit to deliver messages. The sitter sitting with us to receive those authentic messages. And it's the messages that matter. And that's the whole premise of this podcast. It's about what are we offering that's helping the individual in front of us heal. You and I operate from a place of service. So let's not worry about the people who are out there for the money grab. Let's not worry about that. Let's focus on what we're going to talk about tonight and what those messages are. And, especially for any developing mediums that are out there listening, I really want you to focus on trusting the messages you're getting and delivering whatever you're getting. That is so, so important. When I was first starting out, I did so many hundreds of readings, and all I did was an exchange of energy and an exchange for a testimonial, and I would give whatever I received. I remember one particular reading, the only thing I got was a green leaf, and it meant nothing to me. It meant nothing to me. But to my sitter, who broke down in tears, it was the painting that her father had commissioned for her before he passed. That was important. It was a heartfelt message that mattered to her. And so let's talk about that, Tara.
Yeah. So the messages are never for us. They're never about us. It's none of our business. We don't need to understand them. When we ask for clarity, we're going to be asking for clarity for our client, not for us.
Yeah.
I don't need to know. I don't. I just need to give you the best conduit presence that I can. It's been a long day, people. And that's what I need to do. And I know I can do that. So when we talk about this kind of stuff, so someone comes to me, there's several ways you can come and visit me. You can come for an energy healing type work, energy practitioner work. You can come to me for the chakras. You can come to me for evidential mediumship. You can come to me for release and manifestation work. You can come to me for higher vibration work. Ascended masters. There's nothing I love more than trans-channeling ascended masters, right? Channeling Kuan Yin is like my power, baby. So I love doing that kind of stuff, and I do it all with purpose. So there is no, I just ask you one question with me? I stopped doing that years ago. I just had someone ask me that the other day. Can you just tap in for me? No, because it's no such thing. I can turn on and off like a light switch with spirit, absolutely. But it's not just about, can you just answer this one question? Because that one question expands, right? So I can offer you a bevy of different ways to work with you. I can take you on a meditative journey. I can do so. I mean, I've been doing the work a long time, but my purpose, my goal, whatever it is you come to me for, is legitimately to help you move forward.
100%. And the other thing I really want to encourage people to do is to be open to receive. And if we're going to talk about Tara's triggers, I'm going to add a Nancy trigger to it. Please don't medium. Please don't test the medium. I mean, if there's anything worse out there, it's when you sit down and you are shut off to receive a message because I talked to my dad and the only thing I want to hear Nancy say is that the word blue 3 times and that she talked to the cat today. Well, no, that's not how it works. It's signs, it's
Blue, blue, blue.
blue, blue, blue. It's different for every medium. It's different for every person. So you can miss out on a lot of beautiful messages if you are playing test the medium. If you are sitting there only wanting to speak to one person, be open to receive people. That is a big part of why messages matter, right? I can give an example without sharing too much out of turn. I did a reading once for a lady. Beautiful messages came through for her cousin. And nope, nope, nope. And she sat there with her arms crossed, which she was completely closed off to receiving. She got up and left the reading, to which her daughter was sitting in the reading. And I just said, here, give your mom her money back. Clearly I didn't hit the mark. And she pushed it back at me and she said, you hit every single mark. You brought through her cousin. You brought through beautiful messages, but she wasn't open. She just wanted to talk to her brother. And so she didn't hear all of the beautiful things that her cousin had brought through for her. Right. So that's something that, really be open and just be receptive to what Spirit's bringing through for you.
Which brings you to the thought process of, why are you actually going? What are you actually looking for? We've talked about you want closure. We talked about this. But if there is something specific, walk in and say, I'm looking for this.
Yeah.
Actually, if you've had a reading with someone I just ask my clients, if I've seen you more than 3 times, you walk into my space, I'm not proving anything to anyone anymore. I'm well beyond you. What are you here for? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get down to business. You'll get far more out of me if I'm not giving you a message all over the place about everything. Although Spirit always narrows it down, there's always extra stuff Spirit wants to give. And I love that about Spirit. Other people don't always love that about Spirit. Well, no, I'm waiting for... And I'm like, no, come on, this is so much more. If you have something you specifically want done, come in. If you trust your medium, if you trust your intuitive practitioner, your energy practitioner, if you trust them, come in, sit down and say, I'm looking to meet Dad today for coffee. I'm looking to have Dad come in today. Now, I can never, ever guarantee I can bring Dad through. I say that, but usually I can bring Dad through.
Yeah.
I always say I don't have the 411 to Spirit, but I generally, if you want Dad to come through, Dad's waiting to come through.
100%.
Right? So I'm like, Tony. Tony's like, okay, here's Dad. Right? I just, put it out there, so shall it be. But my point being here is that, don't test the medium. If you come with intention, come with intention. If you feel you have to come with intention and you just want to see where everything goes, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Sit down and just be open to everything, though. Don't be tapping your fingers, waiting. Just be open to everything. Now, I don't get a lot of those people. As a matter of fact, I get very little of those people. In the last, I don't know, I would say like 8 years, I don't get people that do that to me anymore. I've had some, I think 2 people that really threw me for a loop way back, years ago. But now I'm just like, no, my energy is, I'm here to be of service. If you want me to be of service, let's be of service. And I will give you your money back faster than your head will spin if I don't feel we have a connection. If I feel you're not in it for the right reasons, I will hand you your money back and say, thank you so much. I can recommend a few other people that might be better suited to what you're looking for.
Absolutely. And Tara's gotten really good at that. I mean, I've only been out of my dining room for probably about 5 years. I've been doing this for a lifetime, but I've only been really doing it publicly for the last 5 years. So I learn a lot. And I've gotten to that point as well, where I now just say to the sitters, what are you here for? Let's put it out there. Let's see who you want to connect with. And it's the same thing. It's the 411. Okay. More often than not, I can connect. And it's important, I think, to be truthful. And it's an energy exchange between the sitter and the reader, right? So don't shut yourself off and nope. Like, can I come to you? 100%. Okay. Does this make sense? You can give a yes or no. It doesn't mean you're giving away the message. It means that you're encouraging your reader that they're on the right track and talking to the right person. And there's something...
And to keep going, right? Yes, no, I don't know. That's good enough, especially in demonstrations. So I want to talk quickly about being closed off. If you are sitting with your legs crossed and your arms crossed like this, I don't care. I can still read you. I don't care if people always say, oh, can you uncross your arms? Can you uncross your legs? That doesn't work. That's not an issue for me.
Yeah.
What closed off is when your mind is completely closed off. When you come in and you're just like, and I will literally say, okay, we're not able to connect. And they usually do this though. Oh, no, I want to be here. I want to be here with you. And then I'll be like, okay, let's go. Because now you've taken away maybe a fear base. Maybe they're skeptical, whatever it is. Now I've kind of ripped off the Band-Aid for them. And I said, okay, I'm not playing a game. And then they're like, okay, she's ready for this. And so I love that. I love being able to be the one that says, okay, let's just keep going, but you got to do this. Right. And again, that comes with a lot of experience, though. A lot of me being like, no more. It's the same thing when people say to me, oh, you're too expensive. I do a lot of free content. If you are in Empowering Intuitive Souls, I go live once a month and provide free readings for people. I provide a summit for people that's at no cost unless you want the extra stuff. So I provide a lot of ways for people to learn, develop, grow, and receive messages from the other side. So if you don't want to sit in a one-on-one with me because one, maybe it's not within your budget or whatnot, I will do two things. I will indicate to you all the ways you can work with me in a different capacity and not one-on-one, not necessarily intimate either, in a group capacity. Or I will say to you, I have a lot of amazing people that I have either mentored or I work with that have a different price range than I do. And I will definitely send you their information. You go check them out.
Exactly. I do a lot of free work as well.
Most of us do, Nancy, honestly.
Because we're all coming from a place of service. For example, as you know, I do a lot of work with animal communication, animal energy work. I just today was working with a lady trying to help her find her lost cat. I do a lot of doula work with animals getting ready to transition that I don't charge for. We are here to be of service. We are here to help those messages come through with clear healing, love, and light, and it feels good. I mean, for me, from a selfish perspective, it charges me up. I'm just like, yes, I helped someone. I feel really good.
Yeah, me too. I love that. As long as I'm not burnt out from it. Do you know what I mean? And there came a point, I don't like that anymore, but there came a point where it was like, okay, so I have 14 messages asking me to tap in. I have, 3 requests for prayers up. I have all those things are doable, but not all at the same time, and not when it impedes on our own personal space, our personal lives, right? We have to be able to separate the act of being of service with our humanness, our ability to be in our power, to spend time with our family, to walk those dogs, to go to the gym. I sacrificed the gym, and I actually just told my people, like my assistants, my staff, I was like, nope, Monday morning, I'm back at the gym every day. Do not book me anything until after 12 o'clock every single day, because I am going back to the gym. I love weightlifting. I love doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, gym. Yeah. That's on man. That's the actual weightlifting stuff. We got a question, Nancy.
Yeah, I love this question from Maria. So for the listeners out there, Maria's asked a question of, how do you know when or if you're being taken advantage of? Okay, should we put the trigger disclaimer up again before we answer? I'm just going to say. So for myself, I personally feel you can feel a bit of an energetic drain. And I find some of the folks in my history, and Tara can speak to her own shortly, when I have felt taken advantage of is when they have asked repeated questions over and over and over. So I'll get a text. Could you just tap in? Okay, so I'll just tap in. And then could I ask you one more question? And then what do you think about this? And what do you feel about this? And let's be clear. We're talking about the clarity of the messages we're bringing through. We're here for healing, but there's also an energetic exchange. I would not come to you and ask you to just tap into my taxes if you were an accountant. I would not come to you and ask you just to tap in to a little bit of, my chiropractic work if you're a chiropractor. So I feel that there has to be a certain exchange of energy. I honestly do not mind helping people, especially if they're in a financial situation where they can't a- arrange a reading, or because I have a muggle job, so I do my readings on Saturdays. So I tend to book out a month or two in advance. So if it's an emergency, if they're coming to me in that capacity. However, if it's a consistent question, it's a little bit like death by a thousand cuts, really, to be honest. And that's where I really feel like sometimes I can be taken advantage of. Tara.
That's a twofold for me. It is like you said, if you wouldn't call your dentist, can you just quickly look at this tooth? Or your doctor, your accountant, all those things. That's a big one for me. If you wouldn't call them and expect them to just drop everything, because that's the other thing. It's not just when you have time, it's usually, are you there? The other thing that I find that is a real struggle for me is there are some people, I have some of my very best friends, Nancy, Lynn, that have come to me through the spirit work. Some of my very best friends. But I only have a capacity to have so many friends. And to be able, and there has been times, and Nancy's laughing because she knows exactly what I'm talking about, where people become addicted to me. So they want to have a very deep friendship, and they think that if they every morning they text me and say, "Good morning, how are you? Are you up and having a good day?" That is a segue. They think that we're making a friendship, and then what happens is after I respond and say, "Oh, good morning, wishing you all the best today," or whatever I say, the segue is, "Oh, do you have a second?"
Right. Yeah.
And there was a time that someone did that to me every single day for months, every day to the point of my son, when I used to drive him up to lacrosse, would be like, "Oh my God, it's her." My phone would go, my text on my thing, and it would say the person's name, and Ryan'd be like, it annoyed my son, for goodness sakes. And the thing is that I felt for her. So a lot of the time, I was awful if I didn't answer in some way. And then
in that place of empathy and sympathy, and we are givers. We are of service, and so we assume sometimes that we should just drop our own energetic boundaries. Sorry to interject, but keep on.
No, I'm just hoping that answered. For me, it literally, I have to have boundaries because there are lots of people, or people that mentor under me, and then when it's all said and done, they kind of move into a different space and no longer, I don't know how to describe that. I just feel like I know my boundaries now, and I just literally sit in my power, and I'm just like, you know what, it's okay. I can be like, "No, I'm sorry, not doing that." I did that yesterday. Someone said, "You still taking one-off questions?" I was like, "No, you can book a 15-minute session with me."
Mm-hmm.
It takes me about 15 minutes to get in. Thank you. And Gina's like, "Yeah, let's go, girl." But that's why I made 15-minute sessions. So
yeah,
you found
I took one out of your rule book with that, and I started making 15-minute sessions on my website as well, because it just, literally, you are stopping what you're doing in your day, you're connecting, you're reshifting your focus so that you can focus on that person, give them the answer that they need, and then usually there's 2 or 3 or 10 more questions to come after your answer.
And that's the truth. But you know what else I did is I made a membership.
Yeah.
I made a membership, and I was like, there's 2 memberships. There's what we call the OG membership. It's $25, and you get me 15 minutes once a month.
What's OG? Oh my God.
No. Yeah, oh my God. No, it's that. What is OG again, Kiara? I can remember.
OG either means like original gangster or original.
Oh, okay.
OG of all the memberships. I can't remember that, Kiara. For heaven's sakes, girl. Thank you. So I have that because it gives you some things. It gives you a 15-minute session with me once a month. If you use it, great. If you don't, it just disappears and you get the next one. So you have that. I also have the $50 one, which is the VIP membership, which you get like circles with me, like I hold intimate circles. You get to be in the circle with me. You get, I can't remember everything you get so much. You get to chill with me, whatever. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a long day.
She does the things that are important. Yes. It's good. It's good.
Wow.
That's fantastic. So should we throw it out for some questions?
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge, am I saying your name right? Is it Angelina? Okay, thank you. I may not be a medium yet, but I'm a very needed woman, and I'm very needed, and it is very exhausting. Yeah, that does happen for sure. So make sure you have all that protection around you. When we talk about protection, no BS. We protect ourselves so that we can continue to function, because most of us that do this work in some way are high capacity empaths. We feel at a level that is ridiculous. Hence why we get walked all over at the beginning of our journeys, or sometimes right through until like a year ago into your journeys. And we're constantly trying to make everyone feel better. I say this a lot, and it comes off maybe not so nice, but I don't owe anyone anything.
Yeah.
Spirit didn't make me this way so that I could fulfill everyone's needs without fulfilling my own. So I just have to remember to gap. Oh, Maria. Yes, gap. I just have to remember that I'm as important as the next person.
Okay. For our listeners on the recording, please address what Maria is saying, what gap is.
Gap is grounding, ascension, prayer of protection, and prayer of intention. So I teach this to every person that walks into my space, whether it's an intuitive development, mentorship program, whatever. If you want to set yourself up for success, gap. That was gifted to me by a medium who's since crossed over years and years and years ago, which was gifted to her by someone, and we just keep passing it down. And here's the thing, that sets you up. So when you get up and you do that, and whether it takes you 15 seconds, because I literally just am like gap, or it takes you 30 minutes, you are set up for the day, and you have tools. Tools are just amazing. So yes, thank you, Maria. I love the gap.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So anyone got questions? Anyone want to ask us anything? Anything? What exactly is gap? What kind of prayer? Angelina, if you send me a email, I'll send you the actual gap. So just
So anyone listening on our podcast recording as well, throw your comments in or email Tara. What's your email? Say it out loud so they can write it down when they're listening to the podcast.
info@spiritessencebytaradiana.com.
Right. You're going to get lots of emails now looking for some
That's
gap.
okay. Let them come, baby. I'm happy to give the gap. It's a blessing. Trust me.
Excellent. I love it. So any questions out there, Kiara? Anyone got any questions for us?
Monica's sending anything, Nina?
Nothing from Monica yet.
Okay. So anyone here, you guys unmute and just ask a question, or if you want a reading from one of us, that's fine too. You can ask a question about what we do. You can ask a question about yourself. You can, just ask. We can pull a card. We can do anything. That's what this is all about. It's about giving you guys some messages. So let's go.
How about we do the raise hand icon, and then you guys can pick from the viewers who have their hand raised.
My husband.
Just so we're not talking over each other.
Okay, fair enough. My husband fell asleep, but I would love to know if you have anything for your husband. Angelina, unmute, please.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I was on a call earlier, and Tara, you brought in my grandmother and my grandfather for me, and it was absolutely amazing for me. Now, the reason why you had asked me if it was okay for me to hold on for an older male spirit before, the reason I was holding on was because I was hoping it was his father. His father passed away beginning of...
Don't see the medium.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I just wanted to know if it was for your husband.
He's just back there in the back.
Is there like a ferret with him?
Is there a ferret with him? No, he's just laying in the bed.
It's not moving. There's like it looked like a critter to come.
For something. Something.
There's
I can see you. Is there a dog or something? Okay. Anyways, let's go back to this. So I'm going to say a couple of things. When I connect to the male spirit that was coming through, please, he was an older spirit that was coming through. Do you understand? And when I felt his energy coming through, I really felt that he was very with an important energy. He wanted to be present. He wanted to be acknowledged. Do you understand? And when I connect now with this energy, please, I want to say to you, please, are you going to answer for your hubby? Am I going to just answer for him? Like, does your husband have other siblings as well, please?
yes.
Okay, because I feel like this gentleman had more than one child, okay, that's coming through for me, please. But I feel like he's been gone, and I want to say to you that although I feel like there is closure, I feel like there is the sense and need to know that he is well on the other side, please. And I also want to say, did he pass very quickly, lovely? Like here one moment, gone the next? Because I feel like he made I feel like there was an illness going on within him. Do you understand that, please? You can take that. And then what the next thing I felt, so for the audience that can't hear you, I need you to say yes or no or what.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So I feel like there was an illness going on within him, but when he decided to cross, he just decided to cross. So I feel like he just consciously said, okay, done. Okay, this is the gentleman that I'm getting. If this isn't making sense to you, let me know. But this is what I feel with this gentleman, please. I also want to say, I don't feel he died young.
He was. Are you just gonna lay there? Or are you gonna actually? He was 95.
Yeah, I feel like that's about the age this gentleman passed away. Yeah, I don't feel he died young. I feel like this was an older gentleman, please. I feel like there was stuff going on within his body, please. But I do feel like he would have liked to have stayed. I do feel like this wasn't a gentleman who would have been like, okay, that's it. You know, although he wasn't feeling good, he did make that decision. I feel like if he could have stayed, he would have stayed. Do you understand that, please? I also want to say to you, please, when I'm connecting with him, he's left people behind. And I feel as though there is some kind of disconnect in the family. Do you understand that, please? Yeah. There is some kind of disconnect in the family, please. And he's asking for everything to be brought full circle. He would like things to be brought full circle, please. Also, does your husband have some kind of a vehicle that would be this man's or be something about that? Thank you, because he's telling me to like, oh, look. And he keeps saying to me, look at that. We everything's in order there. So he's happy for that, though, please. And does it need some work on it? Does the car need work or the truck or the motorcycle?
No, it doesn't need work. It needs a new title.
Oh. I don't, what the heck does that mean? I don't know.
It needs to be titled into his name.
Oh.
He left his grandson a golf cart, and it needs to be titled into his name.
Okay, that makes sense to me, and I'm going to tell you why. Not the titling the name thing, but what he was showing me, I was like, I'm not sure what that is. But it felt like a vehicle, right? It felt like a vehicle, and like it actually, like you put gas in it, and we drove it. And I was like, I was going to say a side-by-side, but I guess that's kind of what it is if it's a golf cart. Yeah. But anyway, he is around. He is very clearly feeling a disconnect. Somewhere in the family, there is something that he wishes that would come together and be a little bit closer. What's the number 3, please? March or his children?
March is the date of our son's birthday.
Okay, so he gave me the month of March, which was a big deal, please. I also want to say, thank you. I also want to say to you, please, that that title, he doesn't understand why it's such a big deal. And then he laughed really heartily. And he said, couldn't leave everything perfectly, could I? Couldn't leave it. And he says that he feels like that's something that was important. So I'm just going to leave that with you because this is a group event. So there you go. The man comes through. He's got purpose. He is around quite a bit, please. Do you have more than one child, though, please? You have 2 children as well, please?
Well, 5.
5. Oh, there's a 2 and 3, but okay, 5. Good grief.
Yeah, 3 are his, 2 are mine.
Oh, okay. Blended family. Welcome to the Brady Bunch. He was acknowledging two children, so I will just give you that for now, please. Okay. I see some stuff in the group here, Diane, Nancy. Who's Diane?
So, so we've got a message from Gulnar and Delnez. Hopefully I've said your names right, ladies. I can take that one. If you want to take the one from Maria, because I believe that's directly for you from a message you gave at the church. So I'm going to read the question out so that the listeners who are on the podcast or watching the recording can hear. So Gulnar and Delnez have asked, any message from our parents in the spirit world for us two sisters? There's absolutely both your parents' energy coming in very, very strong right now. And what I can tell you is they watch what you're going through. They see the struggles that you're having. They see the ups. They see the downs. They see the absolute celebrations. They're there at every birthday, every anniversary, all of those amazing things. And they want you, they're saying that recently there's been, I'm not sure if you've been having a little bit of an extra tough time struggling with their passing and their transition, but they want to say, hang in there because you've got this. And part of the reason for the transition was so that the two of you could become stronger as sisters and the two of you could move forward in a beautiful, loving capacity where you are empowered in your own strength, in your own body, in your own place, in your own space. Hopefully this makes sense to you. They are always around you, and they're, especially your dad is very, very strong at giving signs. He's pointing to his nose for me, which signs is a symbol for he comes around in scent a lot. So I want you to pay attention to the smells that you're picking up on. And I do feel that there's like noises that you're finding when you hear things around a tapping, different things like that. So pay attention to that, but keep on being strong, keep on supporting each other. They absolutely love the strong, beautiful relationship that the two of you have. And hopefully that answers a few questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you. There you are. To hear this. And it's a confirmation for sure. 2 days ago, like when I walked into my washroom right after coming from work, and as I was washing my hands, I could feel his presence through the smell. And I said, welcome, Dad. Hello, who are you? So I strongly feel his presence, and even my grandfather's too sometimes, because as a teenager, when I used to vacuum in his room, like I used to smell the strong sense of like incense. So then I know that my grandfather is there too.
I love it. I love it.
That is so beautiful.
You're very welcome, hun. And it's kind of funny because as spiritual as they are, he's just adorable. He's a bit surprised. He's kind of like, oh, we're doing this. You're the telephone. Okay, we're gonna have a talk. So I do love that for you. But pay attention. Mom is working really hard as well for the signs and symbols, but Dad is definitely a stronger communicator with you. Okay, you're welcome. I'm gonna leave that with you.
Oh, okay, Nancy, I'm going to take Maria's, and then I just want to acknowledge Emery. Emery Borg, I see your message. So she's on Facebook. And then Julie would like you, Nancy, after I just quickly answer Maria's. I would love to see if Nancy would connect with my dog who has passed. I have worried about my decision to initiate his passing. So I'll leave that with you, but let me answer Maria's because I feel like I've got it like right here, right now, if that's okay. For those listening and those on Facebook, Maria has written, this is hard. Last summer at a greeting from Spirit at the church, you told me my ex crossed over. He has been missing for a year. We haven't heard anything to confirm this. Are we ever going to find out for sure? The silence has me feeling he has crossed, but not knowing for sure makes it hard. I hope I'm making sense. The answer is, I don't feel you'll find out anytime soon, but eventually there will be closure to this. He is definitely crossed over. I do not feel him here whatsoever. Everything that I get, but I'm going to say something. I also don't feel him wanting to communicate. So when I'm saying this to you, I'm saying it because my guides are saying absolutely hard stop. Have my guides been wrong before? No. So I trust them that he's not here, but he is not coming through. Is there someone named, and I know this is going to sound weird, but Maria, is there someone named Ryan around you? If you could let me know, that would be great. But in the meantime, I'm going to let Nancy take on Julie. Take her on, Nancy. Go get her.
Okay, and I also have a direct message from Tania, but we can go over that after. So Julie, her question is, I would love to see if Nancy would connect with my dog who has passed. I have worried about my decision to initiate his passing. Honey, the hardest decision we make as people who have four-legged, feathered, scaled friends is to play God. And I can tell you 100%, your puppers is coming through and saying, thank you for honoring me and letting me go when you did. Okay. It was absolutely the time for transition. And they are very grateful that you were there. You were in the room when they transitioned and you held them. And they're saying, thank you for loving me to the very, very end. And thank you for letting me pass with dignity and grace.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Can I leave that with you, honey? Okay. And then I have one more here really quickly with Tania. Hopefully I'm not saying the name incorrectly. This is for Nancy. I was wondering if my family dog passed from depression or if there was an illness. With initial connection that I'm hooking up with the puppers is I do feel there was an underlying condition. I don't feel it was depression. I feel that there was something, and I'm not a medical intuitive, but when I'm tapping into your dog's energy, I'm feeling something around heart. And I want to, like, they're making me want to say congestive heart failure or something like that, where I feel there was like fluid around the lungs or the heart or the chest. That was something that wasn't going to be readily picked up by vets, but that they chose to transition when they did so that it wasn't something that you had to assist with, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't, I do feel like with all dogs, they pick up, and I don't want to get into this too deep in a public environment. They definitely pick up on our feelings. They definitely pick up on our emotions. And I feel that your dog was very much in your life as a healer dog. Okay. So very much a soul connection to you. They feel our happiness. They feel our joy. They feel our anxiety and all of that. But I don't want you to worry about that. I don't want you to think that it was you or anyone in your family that was contributing to any level of depression with the puppers. I really feel it was about, there was an underlying illness, and it was just as we have choices of when we can leave this world, animals do as well. And I do feel that they felt they had completed a lot of what they had to do. Can you confirm, did you have an autopsy done?
No.
Okay. Because I really feel had you done that, it would have actually helped some of the vets and their studies and intuitive studies so that they could work to educate other vets. So sometimes what will happen is when animals will transition and we can do autopsies, we can find out the reason why. It's in a teaching capacity. They leave a certain way so that they can higher the level of education and knowledge in the animal community and amongst the doctors and the vets. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. But please know that it was very fast and they woke up on the other side very quickly. So there was not a lot of pain and trauma.
Thank you.
Can I leave that with you? Okay. Thanks, hun.
I'm going to give this to Emery now because she's on Facebook, but she's all the way in Ontario. Emery, I'm going to give you 2 cards, boo. Door to Spirit. Second time this one's come up. And Goddess of the Moon. Okay. I know that there's going to be a lot of settling into some new jobs, some new ideas, some new thoughts in the next little while. But they're asking you to be very, very open to energy. Not everything has to be black and white, girlfriend. Be sure that you are looking outwards for more opportunity, more change. Be open to receive, okay? So let the good things come to you, because to me, that's always what Door to Spirit is. But then you got Goddess of the Moon, which is you are deserving, right? The moon, generally it's the full moon, and this one is actually showing you all phases of the moon. And so this to me represents goddess-like energy. I am deserving. I am powerful. If you had watched Jodie's You maybe your mama, I know your mama bought the package, so she can, I shouldn't say this, but she can share. But literally, that energy, that lift yourself up, be the badass goddess. You're safe to do it, sweetie. You're safe to, and I know you as someone who I feel has a lot of really strong energy. You're an amazing, lacrosse player, et cetera. But I want you now to step into that in all aspects of your life, in every aspect of your life. And you're going to find that you enjoy that kind of energy. It becomes slightly addictive once you get into that high vibing kind of energy. So I'm going to leave that with Emery.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I can confirm. I mean, one of the things when we are offering messages of healing and love is we are healing ourselves. It's like a lot of you out there who do Reiki. It's the same sort of thing. When you are healing someone and using Reiki, you are also healing yourself. So, yeah, I can agree. Emery, it's addicting.
Okay, Monica, if you're listening, final call for any messages on Facebook. Final call here. We have about 5 minutes left before we have to move into the next trance mediumship at 8:00.
Yeah, we need a bit of prep time, and I can totally say, guys, you gotta. If you hang in there for one more, it's been an amazing day. Incredible.
It's a reading for all, Lance. It's a spiritual. It's a collective reading. So it's going to be powerful. Trance is always powerful when it comes from that space of our spirit team or spirit friends, whatever you want to call them. It's always powerful. So final call, Kiara.
Would you guys like to explain your VIP gift while you wait for any last things to turn?
Let me put that in. Oh, Kiara already did it. I don't know.
There's the links for your free gifts. So I just dropped the link to their free gifts and they'll explain their VIP.
Okay, so I got the VIP. So our free gifts we explained beforehand when we did our personal sessions with everyone. So I am offering my meditation video, and Nancy is her animal communication, but it doesn't say the whole thing. Animal communication.
12-step checklist.
That's it. Woohoo! So those are our free gifts. The other thing, though, is Nancy and I decided to do something a little different. I see you, Rena. I'll just quickly answer this. We decided to go ahead and we'll do an intimate 60-minute group experience where messages will be given, questions answered, past shown. This will be a little bit different than in here. We will be coming with full intention of doing private work for the VIP gold people. Gold people. People follow me, but anyway, that's what it is. It's got a good value to it, and we're excited to do that because we can get a little bit more with all of you in one space. We can get a little bit more into it. Rena, go ahead, sweetheart.
So I don't know if this is an appropriate question or not, but I feel like I'm getting information. There's somebody who wants to talk to me, and is talking. I just don't know who it is. Can you give me clarity? Is that something that is doable for either one of you?
I can feel a spirit. I can feel 3 spirits around you. I can feel one that is connected to you via a cord, which would tell me DNA, but those aren't the ones or she's not the one that feels as empowering as the 2 behind you that are pushing on you. And you have been rocking back and forth, and I feel like
I know
is pushing on you. And these feel like guides to me. Do you understand that, please? I also feel you've transitioned. So there has been a shift and a change, and there's a new guide that is trying to get your attention. Do you understand? And when this energy is coming through, please, I feel as though we always call it leveling up. We call it frequency, vibrational shifting and changing. But I like to keep layman's terms as layman terms, and let's call it leveling up. So there is something that is happening around you. This is definitely a dominant male energy that's trying to get your attention as someone new coming into your space. And I feel as though this is going to be in a very exciting connection once you are open to it fully, because this is going to give you a different perspective on some of the work that you're going to do. You have a very, very strong connection to the forgiveness and compassionate side of the energetic work that you do, and he's coming through and he's saying, okay, yes, that's lovely. I'm here for that, but I'm more into how you are going to move that energy into people now. How are you going to make them see that space? He is going to give you the gifts and the tools to be able to do that. You are also going to find that when you finally do the work with him, when you recognize him in whatever capacity, that's yours. And that we don't have enough time in this for me to walk you through that. But when you reach that capacity with him, you're going to be very, very stunned at how he presents himself. You're going to, it'll be a pleasure when you come back to me and you're like, okay, this is what I got. And I'll be like, So I'm going to leave that with you, though. I do not like to tell people what their spirit guides' names are. I do not tell them what they present as to me, because I don't want to put the idea into your mind and go that way, because it's not my guide. And let me put that out to everyone. It is not my guide. It is not my work. It is not our job to tell you who they are. Now, you really want to do something fun, Rita? Go ask Mike Ellis to do a drawing for you.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Good idea.
We have hit our mark. I hope that helps you just a little bit, Rena. If I had more time, I'd dive a little bit deeper. But I think that has hit our mark. What I will say to everyone is, thank you so much for joining us on our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here in the summit as well, please. And remember, we have a full day tomorrow from 10 a.m., not 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or whatever PDT means, Pacific Daylight Time. And thank you, Rena. Rena's like my goat. Yes, go, Tara, go. I got you. To 4 o'clock, I believe, is our last one, which was a good friend of mine, Jackie Reese, and she's going to be doing a lot of talk about body. And I want everyone to consider coming to that one at 4 o'clock, because that is something we leave to the side. We get so excited about spirit and all the spiritual stuff, and we forget about body and mind. And in May, we are really going to focus on that. Our May summits will be focused on body, mind, spirit. So thank you again, everyone. If you wouldn't mind popping into the waiting room, I can set up for the trans-channeling with Shauna, and we'll get into that. Nancy?
Tara?
See Nancy anymore. There she is. Close us off, baby, like you always do.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Give us some likes on our podcast, Spirit Angels and Guides, oh my, and we send love and blessings to all of you. Thanks, everyone.